Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to explore the basic functionality for Salome software. Salome software is a powerful tool for CAD geometry generation and for meshing. So in this course, we're going to use Salome software mostly for creating the meshes. So once you open Salome, you should be able to see something like this. And then either from here or from this button, we can go to the mesh module. Once we're in mesh module, you should be able to see something like this on your screen. Then we can load the mesh that we created earlier. Let's load an STL. And in this case, and for the sake of the course, it would be the mesh of, let's say, the order that we generated with the corresponding slicer usage. And so this is the mesh that we get. In order to have an interactive mode, you can click on this button here, interaction switch, and then with the left click, you can rotate around and you can visualize. With the right click, you can zoom in and see how fine this mesh is. Now, possibly this mesh is a bit too fine for us and would like to have it more coarse. And to do that, you can just hit right click here, edit mesh. Would like to create a triangular mesh. And we are going to use the Netkin 2D algorithm. And as a hypothesis, we're going to create some new parameters. So the mesh here is based on the medical image, and the medical image is typically given in millimeters. So let's say that the maximum element we would like to have is 3 millimeters, and the minimum one to be 0. And also we would like our mesh to follow the surface curvature. So we can click OK, apply and close, and then we can do right click here and compute. And this will create a coarse mesh. And once we finish, we see that we have a total of 4,000 nodes, 700, and this many edges, and faces we have 9,400. And so this is how the updated geometry looks like. So it has much fewer elements, which is what we wanted, in fact. And it looks much smoother than before. Okay, so one thing that we can do while we're here, if we do right click, we can also do some clipping. And the clipping allows us to visualize also interior parts. So we can create a new relative clipping, and with auto apply we can see where we clip and which part we'd like to have. For example, want to keep the top part, you can just click the bottom part and you can move things around. And to remove the clipping, we just need to deselect that one and then simply close it. Now, it is important in many occasions that we have tags on our mesh. For example, let's say that we would like to have some features here that we would like to have a finer mesh than what it is at the moment. And let's assume that these are the top parts. And we want them finer because maybe it's not fine enough and there are no interior points on the 3D mesh later on. So this means that if we were to run a blood flow simulation here, so the blood flow wouldn't run here because there are not enough interior points and it would look as if it's blocked, although it shouldn't be. So in this case, we would like somehow to select only the top part in order to make it a bit finer than the rest. So to create an adaptive mesh. In order to do that, the way that we can do it is by creating a group. So here we will need to create a group, and we need a group of faces, and we would like to actually select the elements that are at the top. Now, as you can see, as you hover the mouse, you see this triangle moving around, and this is the selection part. So if we were to select one by one the triangles, that would take forever. So we should do something a bit smarter than that. And so to do this, let's close this for now. We are going to use the clipping. And so we are going to enable the clip in order to only preserve outside as visible what we need. All the rest we don't need. And so we would like to have the top part and the vein and the corresponding arteries visible because we would like to have a finer mesh in this area. So we can just rotate things around and move the clip in such a way that we only have the top part and maybe the connections here. So let's say that's good enough. So we can just hit apply and close. And now we would like somehow to select all the elements here and create a group based on only that. So we're going to go back to create a group, and we would like to create a group on the faces, and we want a manual selection. But once again, this would be very time consuming. So then we click once again at the interaction style, and now we have no interaction. You should see something like that. And now you see that plenty of elements are selected at the same time by clicking on the left click. However, we cannot move the screen as it is. So by holding Control on your computer and clicking on the corresponding right click, then you can move the screen and you see that not all elements are selected in this case. Then by holding the Shift key, you can actually add more elements of the selection. And we can keep doing that until we have all the corresponding elements selected. So to move around, as we said, we press and hold the Control key and the right click. And to add in the selection, we press and hold the Shift key and we expand with the selection with holding the Shift key and selecting with the left click. I believe we select all the corresponding elements at the moment, but we're going to make a check for that. So let's say that we selected all of them, and we can click on the add, and then here you will have a bunch of elements. So we can name the group as top vessels, and we can hit apply and close. And so now this one created, as we see here, we can click on that interactive style again, and we created a group that, as you can see, it's shown in a different color, in orange. Now, how can we know whether we selected all the elements? To do that, we are going to create yet another group which would contain all the faces. So by clicking face and we'll select all. We can name this total. Apply and close. Now this one contains the entire mesh. And then we're going to make yet another one by cutting groups. So we're going to here, and from the total, we're going to cut the top vessel. It will be that will be our cut. And then if you visualize the cut, we shouldn't have any elements at the top. And indeed, no elements appear. So this means that we selected all the top vessels successfully, all the top elements as a group. Now, if we would like to save any of these groups, we can do a right click on the group and we can export it. We can export it in any kind of format. So in this case, we're going to export it in STL format. And the reason why we export this is because we are interested to have a finer mesh at the very top. But that will be at the second part of the video. So let's say that we simply have this mesh at the moment. Let's eliminate the clip so that we see everything. So uncheck, and apply and close. And then let's say that we'd like out of this one to create a 3D mesh. So we could do right click, edit mesh, and here we can hit that we would like tetrahedral mesh and only with Matlin 3D. And I would suggest to leave the default parameters, maybe here with the mean size being 0. We hit OK. And make sure now that here we don't remesh 2D. We already meshed the 2D part, so we're only interested in the 3D part. So once we have that, we can hit apply and close. And then with the right click, we can compute. And now this will take a while because we left that the maximum element size should be 1 millimeter, which is quite fine if you think that at the surface we have a corresponding mesh size of 3 millimeters. So this can create quite a large mesh, but you can play around with these parameters and you can explore what happens if we leave a bit larger elements or not. now here is the corresponding information of the mesh. And we see that the number of nodes increased, of course, because now we have internal nodes as well. And we also have volumes, which are 320,000 roughly, because the mesh is quite fine. So we can close this one. And then to understand what exactly we mean by fine, we can do some clipping like before. And we can click on the same one as before and auto apply. And now we're going to see that we do have inside elements. And so this is the corresponding finite element mesh at the moment that we have. We can show to ensure, we can still hit auto apply, and we can just go upwards to ensure that we have some inner nodes so that we will get some flow. But as you can see here, it's a bit rough. We only have one node, one intermediate node, and this might cause problems with the flow simulations. And that's why we're going to need a bit of a finer mesh here. But this is a first three-dimensional mesh that we can have with this geometry. Now, let's say that we would like to revert back to having only the boundary elements, the two-dimensional one, the faces. One way that we can do that, we can do a right-click, and we can click on the Create Boundary Elements, and we could create the 2D elements from 3D, and let's create a new mesh. And if we hit Apply and Close, we are going to obtain something like that, which is strange. So this means that 0 boundary elements were generated because the boundary elements already existed in the mesh. However, the corresponding mesh here does have normally the faces as we expected. So this is just the surface mesh that we had before. And just to make sure that it's only the surface mesh, you can click on the mesh information. And here you see that we only have these corresponding faces and tables and number of points. And in the next part, we're going to see how to actually create an adaptive mesh. So to refine locally here the mesh, and also to tag the corresponding geometry.